Are you ready? Can Crushers. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Gotta shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers. Let's go.
Yes, sir. This is B. Brian Blair asking you to turn into the Can Crushers podcast, or you're going to get stung.
Welcome back to another Can Crushers Wrestling podcast. That's Sir Michael Jenks. I'm Mark the Mark, and we're ready to talk probably anything but wrestling.
This is such a weird view of viewing you at through Skype. You know, it's nothing bad, guys. I mean, it's just he's in a very professional setting right now. He had an interview before the podcast, before our recording time, so he's very professional looking right now.
Oh yeah, with a hoodie and a backwards hat on.
But you got the wall of autographs and that behind you. I mean, that's what's giving the professional vibes. What is the hat? I've been trying to figure it out.
Well, it is the Louisville Bats, but it's their alternate when they're the beer barrels. I've had two, by the way. I've had one during the podcast and the interview, and this is my second already. So
he's 2 ahead of me right now. I got to catch up.
So yeah, it's the Louisville Bats alternate stuff.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm apparently wearing a do-rag.
You are.
And you're not the first person that's told me I wear do-rags around my house. It's setting the stage. It's a black hat backwards, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, supporting the brand this weekend, but it doesn't have the logo in the middle of the back, so all you see is black, so it just looks like a straight-up do-rag going on here. Yeah. So you're not the first group of people to tell me I'm wearing a do-rag.
He came on with a wonky background of a computer that has crashed and a do-rag on. I'm like, what the hell are you doing up there?
We're just having fun in the hailstorm that's going on up here right now.
You and Lizzie.
Oh, yeah. It's not too wild up here, but it's wild enough.
It is. Listen, 5 minutes before recording, I had the dogs outside because that's a normal thing.
Right.
But I tried it also 20 minutes before. Miggy peeked out the door. She's like, fuck that. Max went and ran around a tree and then came right back because it was 90-mile-an-hour winds down here. It was quick. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, get in here before you blow away. Max didn't want to come back in. Imagine that, right?
Why would he? I mean,
Miggy already went back upstairs, curled up on the bed. I ain't going out till March now. I'm done. Got a treat, corralled them. They both went outside. Max is rolling in it. As you noticed, I still have my babyface hoodie.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think I was going to have this long in my...
Yeah. I'm surprised. I heard that was claimed like 1 week after you wore it.
Right.
I don't know how you pulled that off. Did you hide it?
I did not. It was fresh out of the wash, so I put it on today.
Oh, got it.
So it was like claimed back. But as Max is coming in, he's now like a pig in shit. He's just rolled around outside because, note, Australian Shepherd / Golden Retriever mixes love colder weather. Miggy, I said, it's not true. I don't know if this is even true. This is in my head. Max would stay outside now until just living life, trying to eat grass and berries to survive.
Bailey has done it where when it snows out, she will go out, put her jaw to the deck boards, and just scoop up snow and try to eat it as she's running down the fucking thing. It's a fucking sight. She's a snowplow. It's a fucking sight to behold. Hilarious as shit. And then she will just jump off the back deck. It's only 3 stairs, but she just goes full board, jumps right into the snow, and starts jumping around. It's a little disappointing we haven't had snow yet.
It's coming.
It's coming, so I'm not going to be all heartbroken about it yet, but she does love to jump into it and just kind of pounce around while she's out there. And she's about Max's size, I feel like. So
yeah, they're brother and sister, as we said before.
Yeah. So
yeah. So how was your week otherwise, besides do-rags and...
do-rags, chasing rocking chairs down my yard, trash cans. The wind came through here, I think, Tuesday, as it probably did your area too, Mark, but it came through, and I'm like, oh, shit, well, I guess we'll see where things are, because I had trash cans on the side of my garage. All of them but one stayed. The one was about 3 yards down the hill, and I'm driving up my street coming home from work, and I'm like, is that my fucking garbage can? And like, God damn it. So I parked it. Bailey's losing her mind at me, barking, and I'm walk back down. Sure enough, it's my garbage can in the middle of the neighbor's yard. I'm like, well, at least it didn't do any damage while I was out here. Come back up. I hadn't even noticed at that point. I had 2 rockers that just sit on my deck. They were holding the inflatables down from the Christmas decorations. And the one rocker just on the ground, just by the tree, just hanging out, living its best life upside down. So outside of that, it's been an uneventful week, which is probably a good thing, I would say. How about you?
Besides the snow and this, that, or the other, yeah, same thing. It's just been work, a couple basketball games canceled because of weather, this, that, and the other. A couple interviews in the pocket now, which is nice. Released the one, if you guys have not heard, Gina Marie DeLucia's recently released from the PC at NXT. So she comes on the show, talked a little bit about that, talked about being home in Pittsburgh area, working some indies, but as I said on the podcast, I'm not going to ruin a lot. Listen, she's going to work the indies a little bit.
Yeah.
She's got the PC blood in her that she's going to be scooped up by one of the other 2, if not the PC doesn't come calling back.
Right. Well, yeah, and then with the PC, she's out in the indies for a little bit, gets a little more experience under her belt. That's an easy callback for them. The other 2 are like, she's already professionally trained. We have live production and all that stuff. Very little to have to work on. It's a hot candidate right now, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And 3 spotlights, and we've started, if you have not listened to the spotlights this year, you always do like a catch up later on when we take a break. Cool. But I'll release something. Everybody's loving to ask the next person the question. They're like, oh my God, that is the greatest thing. Some are wrestling related, some are not. I don't know where I came. I'm like, I'm tired of asking questions. Let them ask a question.
I mean, it's smart. If you think I think it started from when you asked them their favorite cereal, or you were just trying to get that like that. It's the joking thing, but at the same time, it's like, ask the next person that comes on here. What? Just random fucking question. Why not? Because then, there's some people that'll fuck them over and just be like, give them a fucking question. Or like, there's some people that'll take it seriously, but most of the time it's like, oh, I'm going to get this. Whoever the next person is, here's my question. Yeah.
9 out of 10, they don't know them, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Which is a good thing. If they don't know who it is and it's just a random ass question, it's perfect.
Yeah. Listen, you may hear some of these questions, though, saved in the hopper in case somebody doesn't want to play along. No disrespect. Somebody might not want to play along.
Yeah.
Some of these are good already. So, yeah. I'm not ruining who's coming Wednesday. But I love the Expos. We'll leave it at that. I've always been an Expos fan. I have
that. That was good. That was smart. I like that. Yeah, Expos. Nothing wrong with the Expos.
Oh.
Yep.
We chatted about the Expos for about 2 minutes, too.
As you should.
She was like, oh, Mark. I'm like, all right, we'll move along.
Right.
Yeah. That's it in our life, essentially. That's it. It's been...
Yeah. It's been a week. It's just been one of those weeks where we got from beginning to end.
Yeah. Mid-January week, nothing going on.
Nothing going on, just get from beginning to end and hope for the best.
Power washed a little bit more. I went lion hunting this week.
Oh, did you?
3 in one day, which is unbelievable.
I'm starting to get the itch to buy Red Dead Redemption 2, and I need to get off the itch. So, because I don't want to buy another game before I get the new system. I'll do the PS Pluses and all that BS, because I got with that playing this game called Death's Door. It's a really interesting game. You're a bird, but you're a reaper, and it's kind of a whole thing. You're supposed to collect souls, but now you have to do different things. Hard to explain, but I want to play Red Dead 2 so bad, and I'm just like, no. Why are you buying this?
No,
don't do that. Don't buy this. Don't buy this. It doesn't make any sense. Play what you have until you buy the new system, and just hold out hope. Hold strong. So it's been tough. It's been rough over here.
I did see, and I don't know if the date was correct or whatever, and I don't remember. I think Hobo Life is free right now, if you want to be a hobo for a while.
It only brings back Hobo with a shotgun memories.
Maybe you'll find Eddie Kingston on the game. I don't know.
Eddie Kingston's a bum. He's the king of bums. He might be on there. Have you ever heard of Hobo with a Shotgun?
Not at all.
It's a fucking horrible movie. Terrible movie. There's some deep cut. There's probably one listener out there like, can't believe I'm listening to a podcast where they're talking about Hobo with a Shotgun. But it is a deep cut, horrible acted movie that's just ridiculous. If you find yourself bored one day, see if you can look up Hobo with a Shotgun. That
I have to write it down.
I'll give you a couple if you want. That, Birdemic, and you'll see why that one's.
All
right.
Shotgun. Okay.
All right.
Birdemic. That one I'll write it down, but I know.
That one's just horrible CGI. Worth watching. Rubber.
Whoa! It's explicit already.
I know. Trust me, you'll want to hear this story. What would be the last one? Now let's go with those three. I think those three are a good level point. And they're inspired by Dan Mucci, so you'll know the level.
No.
You know the level.
I'm not watching any of them then.
I think you have to.
Those are probably his 3 favorite movies.
I think not.
Okay.
No, because they have too much of a story for him.
Oh. Complex.
Do you want Rubber? Do you want the plot of Rubber?
Yeah.
It's about a murderous tire.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not fucking kidding you.
Thank God I have something to do today for you guys. Tomorrow. Sunday, though, is a different story. Because these are now the page of the notebook. They're written on the prevalent page of the notebook. So I will have to look at them again when I do an edit. And I'm like, oh, shit.
You have to just look them up. You'll understand why Birdemic's on there just for the hell. Just look up Birdemic on YouTube. It'll have the worst CGI clip you've ever seen, and you'll understand why it's fucking hilarious.
Are they all on YouTube, or do I have to go to Pluto? Because Pluto has horrible movies like this.
They might be all on Pluto, but what I'm saying is on YouTube, you only need to see this one scene for Birdemic to understand what's happened, why this movie is just terrible. And it's on, right?
Touché.
Just watch the trailers on YouTube, too. You'll get the gist of everything you ever want to see there.
And I want to jump off my roof without a mattress on it, probably.
Hey, you know what? Mick Foley jumped under a mattress off of his roof, and it worked out pretty well for him.
It did. So, college football's done. I'm kind of sad about that. Michigan won. Whatever. Yeah. I had no money involved in picks or anything, so...
Michigan, I had no money involved. I was hoping Washington would at least make it competitive, but I think I'm also very afraid that this is a very much a sign of what might be here to come next year with the Big Ten and the transfer of those teams into the Big Ten, or the Big 18 or whatever the fuck they're going to be called after this. But Yeah.
Already saw a way too early prediction for next year for the 12 schools they're going to be in the national championship, yada, yada, yada. Listen, today, as you guys are listening, who the hell knows if Buffalo and Pittsburgh are going to play in Buffalo?
Or in Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland or wherever. I don't know. I thought I'd never say this. I may be footballed out. I don't know. Like, the Steelers are in, but listen.
It was a taxing year.
Sloppy weather might help them. But they would make it by the next round. Right.
I always enjoy the snow games because it adds a whole new element to whatever you're watching. It's fun to watch at that point. The Buffalo-Pittsburgh game, I gotta assume Buffalo would kill them, but I don't think there could be turnovers and it could be just bad news for Buffalo. So I think for me, the football aspect is there's maybe 3 games I'll tune into at some point, watch them for the most part. Browns-Texans, there's the tie back there. Bills-Steelers, because I want to know what's going to happen. I got to see what weather-wise, I want to see what's going on. Obviously, Tampa and Philly I'm going to have to keep an eye on because Tampa's my team. I mean, I have Peacock, so I'm not going to complain about the Dolphins Chiefs being on there, but good God almighty, people have to buy a $5 streaming service to watch a football game. They are pissed.
Which brings me over to one of my hot topics.
All right.
WWE is going on Prime, ? Exclamation point, ? Raw, not WWE.
Yeah.
One, how? Because they already have their network with Peacock, so they're only buying Raw. So nothing from Raw will be showed ever again on Peacock.
No, I honestly, I think they end up on Prime. Prime's going to be their stream service.
Buying everything.
Buying the whole kit and caboodle. I mean, they may end up with TV deal. If they end up with TV deals for SmackDown and that on cable somewhere, I don't know where that would end up. But I do think if Prime buys them out, it's getting the video library with it as well.
And that's the only reason why I have Peacock. I think Kelly and Ethan watch Peacock other things, but I only turn to Peacock for wrestling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need Peacock anymore. So my money would be allocated to Prime. But I can't get rid of Peacock because they watch Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just because we don't have Prime right now. We've not pulled the trigger. I have not watched a Thursday night game because it was on it. Steelers had, 2 or 3 Thursday night games this year. There was baseball gets thrown on Prime every once in a while, whatever. Now you're hitting into my wrestling. Now it's a different story. Now,
right.
I gotta get Prime. I don't want everything.
Yeah.
I'm really sick of streaming. I love streaming services, but I'm really sick that can't we just have one? Again, can't we just go a la carte and let me pick what I want? Some conglomerate out there, please, for the love of God. Just like Xbox is going to make the Megalodon system in about 10 years, get a Megalodon streaming service. At this point, I'm not saying money doesn't matter, but I just don't. I'm getting lazy of remote switching from this to this to this to this.
I mean, I think you're seeing that with Disney. Disney Plus has moved in that direction. They bought Hulu. Now if you're on Disney Plus, you can pull over Hulu shows and watch them on Disney Plus. ESPN Plus, you can do the same as well. So I think Disney's starting to play into that model. I think Amazon will get to that point where they're just going to be like, I'm going to be honest, Netflix is going to lose enough money at some point that they're going to have to sell themselves.
Yep.
And it's probably going to be to Prime. And I think Amazon... I think so too. I completely agree. They've already screwed themselves out of it. And as soon as you start seeing more and more move into this password sharing type cutoff where you can't, if your child is at school in bumfuck nowhere, or whether you're illegally sharing your password or not, blah, 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 they're going...
We don't condone it.
We don't condone it, but it could happen. But, I think it's just going to open up the market for the Amazon to say, I'll buy it. I don't care what you do with your password. Here's where we're going to be at. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Here's what I can offer you, and there it is. I think it's going to end up being Amazon. There's going to be a few outliers like Disney Plus and all that because you can't have a monopoly. But
no, Max is going to get eaten up, and Discovery is probably going to get all the ones that are like local to their channel.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna, yeah, exactly. Warner Brothers will sell. CW is going to sell. It's going to have a trickle-down effect for sure. So, to your point, I mean, we started to consolidate our streaming services, but like we have Disney Plus, Hulu, because there's some things on that we both like. You know, we got rid of Netflix because her and I are both like, ain't nothing coming out on Netflix that we actually care about to watch. So, I have Peacock for my needs and that, and then we have Sling for the cable needs. I think the biggest concern that I would have is if things start consolidating down and you can start getting live TV on things, on those like streaming services like an Amazon, does that become another monopoly like Spectrum was? Like the cable companies were. And then you're going to be charging you for a kidney to just watch TV per month.
Yeah. Yes, it is already. Yeah. I don't believe we're on this conversation, but yes.
Yeah, well, yeah. We've gotten really deep with this. But to that point, but that's the thing, is now it's all about opportunity. And who's got the money to buy what you want.
And the customer doesn't have any of the money.
Nope. Customer's just the customer at this point.
Speaking of customers, next week is Ask Can Crushers. We've gotten some already trickled in. We're doing this off kilter, by the way. Yeah, I understand. But there's a couple ways that you can send us questions. One is by DMing us in any of our socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Farmers Only.
Aliens Above and Beyond.
Podurama, or whatever the hell you told me 5 seconds ago. But send us a DM that way. Send a question there. You could email them, which the folks that are in my phone now have, and that's at cancrusher69@gmail.com. Or some of you guys like hearing your voice on the show, and we love hearing voices besides ours. You can call us, Jenks, right?
Yeah, they can call us, 814-299-6687. Yeah, we like other voices outside of our own. Mine scare me sometimes. So, there's that. Don't call the mental ward. I'm fine. But, yeah, they can call us, leave us a voicemail, 3 minutes in length, not 14 times over. Just give us a good question. One that we could sit here, discuss, talk about, kind of pick each other's brain over. I think there's always good opportunities, and every time Ask Can Crushers come up, there's a lot of delivery and a lot of good questions that come up. So please do that. That was fucking loud. The wind just went outside, so this is gonna be fun tonight. Anyways,
we'll be piecing this together until 1 o'clock. Awesome!
Yay! Yeah.
You can listen to us. Yeah, I'll do this one. You can listen to us on IMDb. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Boxcast, Buzzsprout, Alexa. That's right, Bailey. You can listen to us on Podurama.
Yeah. Can you tell us what kind of discount they can get? Of course. 50% off for a lifetime membership on Podurama. Just sign up now.
And it's seamless. It goes from phone to computers to laptops to any devices. Where you pause is where you pick up, and the notables are right next to us. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. The notables, but they ain't us. That's for sure. So.
They ain't us.
Ain't us.
So make sure you get those in by next week. We'll remind you again at the end of the show. And what else do we do? Oh, yeah, we have an affiliate code.
We do have an affiliate code with www.shop.com. It may get you a discount, may not. Depends on what you get and how the code works out, but it helps support the podcast. So go ahead. It's in the show notes. Click the link. You'll be taken to that affiliate code.
Hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that Al Snow and the hooligans have over a collar and an elbow. You can shop until your little heart's content. I haven't seen anything new in a while, so I'm throwing collar and elbow under the bus here tonight, too. Apparently it's shit-stirring week for Mark. But, yeah, they produce a lot of cool stuff. I have shirts that from like 5 years ago that they're brand new still. They are great quality stuff.
Agreed. First of all, isn't that a typical week for Mark every week? Just a shit-stirring week? Yeah, okay.
It really is. Use the promo code Can Crushers, all one word, capital C and Can, capital C and Crushers. You'll save 10%. And then finally here in the opening segment, Jenks, I got this early last week, okay? And you're like, okay. Oh, I got my book.
Oh, very nice.
Todd is God. It came Sunday. All right. I'm still not privy or knowing why they deliver stuff on Sunday, especially in this neck of the woods. It was said to be here by Tuesday.
Okay.
Normally always comes a day early, so Monday I was expecting it.
Yeah.
It came Sunday. Boom. Instantly. Read half of it. That day. Yeah. I just couldn't put it down. I thought, all right, I'm going to go back to it this week, read a little. We've heard about the week already. That's my Sunday again. I will finish this book this coming Sunday. It is just that damn good.
Awesome.
I want Todd Gordon on the show. I want him on the show. There's a couple things that, and I'll not ruin it in case I get them, but there's a couple things that he says that I'm like, whoa, that's not what I thought, and I thought he was your boy, yada, yada, yada. So there's questions, but it is a great book. Halfway through, like I said, if you haven't bought it, it's on Amazon. I believe it was like $25 or whatever. But Todd is God. His story of ECW essentially, and then how it went from not his.
Yeah.
So it's a great book.
So what you're saying is definitely read it, especially if you've only seen the rise and fall of ECW, because I'm sure that was a very one-sided, painted story.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Everybody knows that he had something to do with Shane Douglas and the whole NWA thing, but reliving that when Shane threw the NWA title down and he gives a little bit of the backstory in it, that's what kept me going. I'm like, oh my God, because everybody knows Shane Douglas, one of my favorite wrestlers of all times. Just hearing that in that story of why, who were involved, yeah. Now I'm in the part of the book where he kind of talks about all the workers, wrestlers. He kind of gives a little bit about each one and some of his thoughts. Some of my thoughts have changed. Some of his thoughts have changed. It is a great book. So That is a 2024 hope to get Todd on to talk about this book and not have him rail people, but pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, take expert excerpts and say, all right, we know the story in the book, elaborate,
right?
Kind of thing. Yeah, kind of pick his brain a little bit.
So
nice.
But if you're an original ECW fan, you'll love it. If you're a WWE ECW fan, buy it because it's a great book. You won't understand it.
I was going to say you will be lost if you're the WWE ECW guy.
Yeah. You aren't understanding it, but it's a great read. All right. Do you want to get into this week's wrestling? Do you have any hot topics, by the way? I just took over the whole fucking show. Like it's
no, you went right for the pain in the bill, so I was like, all right. I have a question.
All right.
I'm thinking I might sit on it till last Can Crushers. It's going to not be as relevant, but I think it'll be fun. So let me ask you this. It's blending the world of professional wrestling and NCAA football a little bit. You want it now or you want it in Ask Can Crushers?
No. This sounds like it's definitely probably one that we need to save till next week.
Okay.
Because
I like this question a lot. I will say it was from Dutch Mantel. I like this question a lot. He posted it, and I'm like, this is something I think we could talk about for about 20 minutes or so. Maybe 10 minutes, kind of get a good synopsis on it, so I think it'll be a good one for next week.
All right, yeah.
So I got it in the back pocket. One of our questions is from me next week, so we'll see what happens.
Ooh, that's called a teaser, folks.
About time I showed up and asked a question, huh?
Right, you've only been through like 8 of these now, but I digress.
You know, I like people doing the work for me, I guess. I don't know. What?
Here comes Al to tell you more about Collar and Elbow. We'll come back and talk about, I don't know, we'll flip a coin during the break.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, it's Gina Marie, and you're listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
Oh, Canada. Listen, welcome back to Can Crushers. You're going to hear this. Toronto's beating everybody to a pulp listening to Can Crushers. So until I get the next demographic update.
The international fans have come out and support. They're the North American champion. They're the world champions right now. They're running around talking smack, standing here like Smojo, just saying they're going to kick everybody's ass that tries to take their throne, take their crown. So gotta respect the Canadian, Canada, the Maple Leafs. Everything about it. I was trying to get the words. I am having a rough time today. I don't know why. I love you, Canada. Love you, America, and all that. But I am just having it. Yeah, maybe the do-rag's too tight. Maybe I should take that off for segment 2. Hold on.
Stop it. No, stop it. Oh, that hair. The luscious hair.
The luscious bald spot of hair that's flipping in the wind right now. We'll turn it around, see if that helps anything. Good God almighty. Somebody stick me in a fucking hole right now. Jesus. All right.
So we're doing WWE since it was on a hiatus, essentially. And it started on Canada because what a better way to start SmackDown, KO.
Yeah. KO knocking out, go into the final, KO knocking out Santos. And honestly, I don't think it was that close, to be honest. I don't
either.
The money, well, here's the thing. The money was on the wall. It's basically there for KO Logan Paul at Rumble.
Right.
Escobar's just there. He can say, hey, I made it to the finals, guys. But this had everything. This is all Kevin Owens and Logan Paul at the end of it. Good match. But
the promos itself. Nothing against Santos. Listen, 4 weeks ago, whatever. We were all on Santos.
Yeah.
There's a wall, as you said, once in a while. I think Santos has run into it. And I'm not very happy. Like, he just left the LWO. And now he has Angel and Roberto. Listen, if you're giving me 2 people, I'm taking Joaquin and, again, the other guy that we never remember his name. Or at least I don't.
Who's Del Toro? I haven't.
Okay.
But
Angel and Humberto, man, where have they been?
Just hanging out, sometimes showing up on NXT, you know. Weren't they just the Latin lovers at one point during the pandemic era, and then they kind of disappeared? Apparently they weren't getting any loving.
Back to school, I think.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you're right. Well, no, he might have. I mean, he's basically, 19 when he came into WWE?
Yeah.
If that.
I'm excited
I don't know.
for KO and Logan, though.
I'm excited for KO and Logan, but that Raw you were talking about with Santos, I think it just is because they tried to put him in a tournament to get him relevancy, but you shoehorned him into a tournament he couldn't win, so it was kind of like, that's not relevancy.
Right.
Like, if it was, and I get it, I'm homering on the AEW with the Continental Classic again, but if it was a round-robin tournament like that, he has a chance to build up some steam, get some key wins. He could afford a loss here or there, get to the finals, then lose a KO again. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. But when it's a straightforward tournament like this, and really your only option is KO versus Logan Paul that comes out of the tournament, there's just no way.
No. I love Karrion Kross in AOP, in Scarlet, yes, and Paul Ellering, too.
Paul Ellering. I've been dying for AOP to come back.
Yeah.
I think they were misused when they were on the main roster, way back when. You were monsters that could run. They showed it in NXT. They can run through anybody, compete with anybody across the board. They stripped them of that when they moved up to the main roster, but now Ellering's back. I love this faction. I don't know what it's going to be called, but good God Almighty, it should be a force to be reckoned with.
Listen, before you spin this any which way, these guys need to be satanistic. Like, I understand that we'll probably, oh my God, don't say that. That's not right about the world. In wrestling. Always put that term in wrestling afterwards. They need this to be overly dastardly, overly despicable, not caring about wins, just bludgeoning people, essentially.
It's destruction. Karrion Kross, this goes back to being the Doomsday and the Doomsday Clock and all of that stuff. Kross has to be unrelenting, satanistic to your way, sadistic in his methods. AOP needs to be the wrecking balls, the destructors, the destroyers, anything under the sun. They need to be destroying things. Like Bobby Lashley and Street Profits, I almost said primetime players, the Street Profits need to be just run over in this feud. And I know you're trying to build them up, but you have to run them over because that's the only way this is going to get real good traction off of it. Street Profits, notable tag team. Lashley, obviously very notable in his own right.
Listen, your two big factions after WrestleMania aren't going to be there.
No.
Bloodline's done after Mania for sure. Well, I would, if not rather quickly. In the writings on the wall that we've been saying for 6 months now, it just keeps coming more and more and more. When we get to Raw, we'll talk about more. The Judgment Day is close to being done too.
Yeah.
Now you need that faction. You need that, whatever satanistic faction name this is going to be. Can it last a Bloodline era? 3 to 5 years, whatever it's lasted? No, I don't think it can. But it's not the Dungeon of Doom or anything like that was just like thrown. This could carry us through this year. This could carry us 18 months and be noteworthy for both of them. All of them. Because there's more than 2 people in it, Mark. Let them be this group that is now going to take over the WWE. Yeah. Judgment Day was never, even with Edge, they were never what I thought they were going to be. No disrespect to any of them. I've learned to like them. I've never loved them. I like them. I love them now because our truth is in it, but it's not what they're supposed to be doing. They never, I thought, got the full traction. The Bloodline is a Bloodline. We've had this discussion that possibly some people hate us, and we think has been the best storyline, the best faction in wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the satanistic group that this is going to come close to any of those, but it could carry your WWE right now.
Oh, 100% could. I think to your point with Judgment Day, it was doomed from the beginning because really they tried, the rumors came out oh, they need to be supernatural. They're going to do supernatural bullshit. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And I think it hampered it because everybody's like, oh, for God's sakes, we're going to get that kind of shit. And then, to be honest, the feud with Edge was rather lackluster in what it delivered upon. Even the Hell in a Cell match kind of was lackluster and wasn't what people wanted to see or could see or anything along that nature. So for it just never got the traction it needed. Yeah, now it's got some relevancy, and I think it was more because two of the four are older in age, more veterans than anything, but it was newer to WWE audiences, and they didn't have that strong leader figure in it. Rhea is stepping into that role, but Rhea, I think people are just not fully functioning with it and not seeing it as a truly led faction where they claim they don't have a leader, but Rhea truly is the leader of it. I just think it just never clicked because they were just too young, too new for the audience. And with factions, you usually have somebody that's been around for a while that kind of gives them the extra boost. You look at Evolution, you look at DX, hell, the NWO, hell, the Four Horsemen. Flair was established, then they start picking up the guys, everybody under the sun. They have established people in these factions leading them with the knowing that at some point the student surpasses the teacher and creates that little friction and that chasm that kind of breaks open and becomes a whole new thing. So that was the one thing with Judgment Day. It just didn't have that capability at that point.
And Rhea's too big for them. Listen.
Yeah.
Rhea's supposed to be doing dastardly things, bad things. She needs face. She needs to go back to face. Or mid, like Stone Cold. She could be bad and do dastardly things in the ring. She's getting cheered.
Bailey.
See?
But, no, that's a valid point. But I think Rhea has, like Stone Cold, surpassed heel babyface type line. To your point, mid is where she needs to be at, and not mid as in terms of quality, but she's just middle of the road. She's the anti-hero.
Yep.
Legitimately, yeah.
Good. I'm glad you said anti-hero because this rolls into one of my things. Paul Heyman says The Rock has not been invited to the dinner of relevancy. Call out Roman, you're there. Date Taylor Swift, you are there. Or be on Can Crushers, you're there. Paul said all of that.
He did. I heard every single word of that. But
I don't know why I had to get that in. It's
you had to. You had to. But no, let's go there. I mean, Paul is speaking truths in terms of the storyline. You're not invited, so you're not allowed to come to show up. But again, Paul, not everybody's been invited to your table of relevancy over the whole course of this whole thing. People show up when they want to.
Yeah. Then we get a lot of just stuff. Pretty deadly against Butch and Tyler Bate. Good. Aldis has a meeting with Ashante. He's going to do some probably dirty work for him, I think. We'll find out, or you guys found out. I didn't watch the main event whatsoever because I knew where it was going. And
the writing was on the wall. Yeah.
Because these are not our predictions for WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. What a perfect way to get the title off Roman out taking a loss. And then he goes, because The Rock shows up, yada, 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 at Rumble, comes out and says, I invite myself to the fucking head of the table, yada, 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 gets distracted. Randy wins, as we were saying, or AJ wins. The other one's not winning, guys. He's just in it. He's going to be the one taking the loss.
It's either him or AJ that take the loss. Even though they're building up AJ right now.
Right, but if you're picking two of who's winning this, if Roman, and again, next week we'll also have, is it next week? Yeah, Rumble is next week, isn't it?
Oh shit, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2 weeks. 27th. Yeah, we got 2 weeks. That's why we're doing Ask Can Crushers next week. We're professional here, okay?
Right. You can't do two things in one day. If it's not Roman because you're going to break Hogan's record, and I say throw Roman out of the other three in this match, pick two that might have a chance. Well, one, Steiner math, is 83.81645% Randy Orton.
Yeah.
The other 37.5% goes to AJ Styles.
Yeah. I mean, those are the two legitimate, both former world champions. Nobody would be mad if they won it, especially over LA Knight or anything like that. I think my point is, if LA Knight doesn't take the loss, it's AJ.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, because to your point, nobody's pinning Roman to the ground, and nobody's pinning Randy to the ground.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But see, this goes back to the age-old question, and maybe we save this for next week.
Oh, now you're bringing two questions to the table next week. But Never mind, fans. Don't send any questions in. Jenks is just going to carry the whole show next week.
Hey, now. Stop that. Anyways, I'm just throwing it out there. Does Cody finish the story if it's not Roman?
No.
I agree. No, because that's not the story.
No. And listen, Roman can get it back by WrestleMania, though. Finish the story.
Yeah. Well, if it's on SmackDown, because apparently he's not showing up at Elimination Chamber.
Right.
So, there's so many possibilities that can happen here. And this is a good thing. This is a great problem to have so that we can debate this. And we have something to talk about on a weekly basis. But it's one of those things where it's really heavy.
Problems.
You have too many problems right now. How do you solve them?
And the bitch ain't one, though.
Yeah, well, that's true, unless the Rock's bound and start calling people bitches. I mean, it could happen. There could be a lot of bitches that are going to be problems for people here coming up soon. The world title's got 99 problems, and about 97 of them are bitch related. So.
Okay. Do you have anything else on SmackDown?
No, I got nothing on SmackDown. Now I butchered that Jay-Z song.
It's alright, we both did. Trickle over to Raw, and I think the beginning of Raw and the end of Raw clearly should have switched.
Yeah.
I was all in on the beginning of Raw. The end of Raw, I could have given a shit about this, but we'll go in progression. Drew's got something to say, yada, 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 bitching about this. Essentially, it sounded, and he's that damn good, it sounded to shoot a little bit, shitting on CM Punk, and then boom, Punk comes out. I now want to see this. I don't know when we're going to get it. I don't know. It's only going to probably happen during the Rumble, or do we get a one-on-one at Elimination Chamber? But those are two big-ass people to be leaving out of Elimination Chamber, unless Punk has it in his pocket, and then he puts it up at Elimination Chamber, hey, you beat me, you get it, yada, 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 spinning that whole thing. Because I don't know if Punk goes in the Elimination Chamber. I think there's a little bit of a hindrance there.
Yeah, there's no chance he's walking into an Elimination Chamber match. I think to your point, the scenario is they're building up for Punk McIntyre at Chamber to kind of have a blow-off, winner-take-all type thing. I mean, that would require Punk winning the Rumble, or McIntyre winning the Rumble, one of the two. But I think
I have more money on Punk. Nothing against Drew.
I have more money on Punk too, but hell of a swerve if Drew walks out of there a two-time winner, and then distracted me with that. But then he's a two-time winner. He has it in his back pocket. The hell of a story would be if he loses it to Punk, because Drew has just been losing world title shots left and right recently. That's a hell of a story to be told there if he blows that opportunity and gives it to Punk in Perth at 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
Yes. I'm for it, though. I really am. I want it to happen.
Yeah.
Because what else are we waking up for besides the Elimination Chambers? I know we're 2 months away from that, but I don't know how much more, because it's going to be very woman heavy about somebody getting a title shot as well.
Yeah.
Is it the blow off of Becky and Nia, which I'm all right with that too. We might get 1 or 2 more matches because the Elimination Chambers last an hour apiece. Roughly. The next pay-per-views, by the way, folks, as I pause, realize we're getting 5, 6 matches.
Yeah.
Women's Rumble opens the show probably. Men's Rumble ends the show. There's the heavyweight championship somewhere involved of whomever, Randy. Rhea has, and that's it.
That's probably Rhea and Nia at Rumble. Yeah. And then that might be it, actually, for Rumble. But do you realize that would be 3 pay-per-views in a row where it's literally 5 matches? Because that happened at War Games. War Games, Rumble, Chamber.
Backlash is afterwards.
Backlash is after.
So that'll be a full event then.
That'll be a full event. Shit. Maybe it kind of level sets that. But I guess that does raise the question, though. Is that too many gimmick pay-per-views in a row?
Knock on right after Backlash then. Because, listen, I'll throw this out there. Mania is a gimmick pay-per-view. It's 2 nights. There's a lot of hoopla around.
There's a lot of hoopla, but it's also actual match, like mostly regular stipulations. There's going to be other stipulation matches on the card. But you're getting 8 matches that are very much that are pretty normal in nature.
Right. If you want to talk about stipulation, I mean, I want to go down this path now because Money in the Bank is the same way. Right. Hell in a Cell was the same way. Like, it's not that we not like gimmick matches. They're good. They're fun. But they're spectacles most of the time. They're not. When have we ever said, hey, my God, the Money in the Bank match is the match of the year?
We would have said it back maybe in 2005, 6 when it first started because it was a spectacle at that point. But now we've essentially seen everything besides whatever crap Lucha Bros and Top Flight and all that come out with ladder matches, right?
Right.
I mean, to your point, this is where it becomes, if I'm the game, I'm going to go back on this sword. My gimmick matches should be in my back pocket, not as events, but as sporadic points of the year. Hell in a Cell should be during the year, blow off the biggest rivalry you've ever had over that course of the year, the Blood Feud. Elimination Chamber, you build up to it, you have 95 fucking people up for it. Let's throw them in a chamber, go for the world title. These are how these should be spaced out. Hell, War Games, kind of wish it was kind of sporadic as well. Just, we're going to go War Games and blow it off. But I get the gimmick with Survivor Series. It puts the Twisters history there. So you can kind of align those two. Right.
But you can tell War Games happens what? October, November. Around.
Yeah. It always has. It's September to November time frame when you go back to WCW.
By June, you know the War Games match. And I'm not being a dick. You know the War Games match by June.
Right. And I'm fine with that.
Right.
Because that makes sense for that War Games match. But when we talk about the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and it's 3 weeks and you're in a Hell in a Cell match.
Right. Not at all.
That was fucking stupid.
Right. All over the place this week. All over the place this week.
And I love it.
Finn with Priest against Ciampa and Johnny. Of course, everybody got involved. It was a good match until the end.
Well, it's the same rinse and repeat. Everybody gets involved. Everybody and their mother is going to fight each other and all that. I'm just surprised Ciampa got the goddamn win over Balor. Which I think
your new tag team champions when they drop them.
I was toying with that. I could see DIY taking it, but I could also see him just being the bump in the road type tag team here, because I don't know if they're ready to pull it off Judgment Day unless they have a solidified plan for Priest to get the title. Get a title at some point. You know what I mean? Do you pull the trigger Because
that's time knocking on Priest. Max is pissed. He's not knocked now.
Well,
Priest might not win his cash in. Now,
the amount of times he has tried to cash in, and then we play this fucking game of, I'm going to cash in. You can take this from me. Are you going to do this? Are you sure about this? Is ridiculous at this point. It's comical.
John Cohen, that referee, is always the one out there.
Yeah.
Slick black hair. Dude, as soon as you touch it, ring the fucking bell.
Yeah, there should be none.
There's always like, oh, do you really? What's your shoe size? Wait, give me your social security one more time. Is this really you? Of course he's going to get jumped in the time.
Yeah. Just fucking cash it in.
Yeah.
That is how it should be. It started with Keota and Carmella way back when, because he did that to her, I think as a rib. And now every ref, now particularly John Cohn, has to sit there and say, sure about this? Can I have your thumbprint to open this case, verify the contracts in here, plus a blood sample? Where are we at? Can I have that? We don't need there's no two-factor authentication here. Just fucking cash the fucking thing in.
Agreed. As we booked WWE this year, be truthful. By the time his year is up, does he have a chance in hell of getting this title?
Not right now. I don't think he does, but I could see him being real cute with the fucking thing, and because Dolph just left the company, cash it in on the night after WrestleMania and fuck with people, and now you're trying to erase Dolph's legacy on that one.
Touché.
But that also leads to whoever's winning between Seth and maybe Punk, or whoever's winning between Roman, Rock, Randy, Cody, whatever, they only have the title for 24 hours, / their title reign ends not at Mania but the night after.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You take it from Cody, there's going to be a riot. If Cody is the one that has it. A riot.
What a fucking thing. You think you've finished the story, and it gets ripped out of your hands.
Yeah.
So you don't have a proper reign.
The Apex isn't written. It's gone.
It's gone. There's still 4 more chapters you have to get through to get to your title again.
I have to go there. In the Shinsuke, we'll bounce back. In the Shinsuke Cody chapter, should have never been written. This was horrible. This was the worst street fight I've ever seen in my life. It was when the ref was knocked down street fight. You know what I mean by that? Like, there's more action when the ref's knocked down. The coolest thing is that the timekeeper got spit on. Misted. I always say spit on because that sounds so gross. But got misted. The rest of this.
Well, when you have fucking Nakamura riding a broom to be fucking funny, like, to me, okay, I get Nakamura has a personality and he's very charismatic and whatnot. Don't ride a fucking broom. Just fucking use the broom. This is supposed to be a very serious matter, and you're supposed to be this very anime serious character, but you're not filling that role. Now you're just like, are you supposed to be Joker psychotic in an anime form? What exactly is happening here? Like, I need a box your character and tell me what you're trying to be.
Shinsuke has taken a hit in the last 6 months. I can't believe anything he's going to do that he's, oh my God, he's Shinsuke. Oh, good, he's here.
He had such going for him when he was doing the promos leading up to the first match against Seth. The promos were spot on. It made sense. He was very much out. He was methodical. That's the Shinsuke. It should be a killer assassin type thing. But now we're getting a very anime, over-the-top character with it. It's detracting big time from him. Detracted from him with Seth, it detracts from him now. even more so.
When do we see him again? I think, of course, Rumble. He'll show up at the Rumble, but when does he get a story? Who's he get? Listen, I don't want to see a story with him and Gunther.
The only thing is, if this is to make the run for Okada, his story would have to be Okada, but his story does not rest on the laurels of his past 6 months. His story has to rest on their history in New Japan up until he left New Japan. Because if you think about it, right when he left New Japan, Okada was just getting hot.
Yep.
Was becoming the Rainmaker at that point. So that was him taking that proverbial ball, running with it. That's your story. It's not Nakamura, the WWE guy. We don't need cartoonish Nakamura.
No.
We need Nakamura, the assassin, the killer, the guy that walked into NXT and sent shivers and goosebumps onto my bod because he walked in with the most enemy final boss entrance there ever was.
Yep.
That's what we need.
And Okada said, my time in New Japan has come. I think, and I'm paraphrasing, I think I want to end my career in AEW. So, he might not even get him in WWE.
All this work for not.
Shame on us if we have the wool pull over our eyes. But
if the Rainmaker walks through at Rumble,
Crow.
Eat it all day long. But he won't.
But I don't think he is.
No chance.
Got a prediction of Royal Rumble for me in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no chance he walks through.
Fast passing some of this. Kofi and Kaiser. Kaiser's kind of a lunatic now.
Well, he's pissed because of Vinci, which he didn't really like Vinci to begin with, but now he's defending his honor. I don't know. That's fine. Hey, you know what? Brothers fight, I guess. We'll go with that.
Cole and Nia in the ring, and then Bex comes out. Okay. Give it.
Pushing it forward.
Yep, pushing it forward. My girl, Chelsea, I hope this was, all right, you're away from the tag team picture now.
Yeah.
Rumble, you're going to be built up. You'll maybe sniff something next year.
I think Rumble's Chelsea's breakout moment in WWE at this point in time.
I hope. The number one thing, go ahead.
No, go for it.
The number one thing on Raw this week was the R-Truth video.
That video was Oscar-worthy in the utmost.
Better than any movie I've ever been in, any play that I've been in, directed, any spotlight.
I shed a tear at listening to his life story and how him and the Judgment Day came together.
Unbelievable. And this is why, listen, we might say we like AEW a little bit more better because of the storylines or the wrestling or the impact or whatever. This is production.
Mm-hmm.
AEW, I will say this, Tony Khan, I will say this till blue in the face. WWE just destroys it. This is pseudo production. This was fucking epic. As stupid as it was. Yeah.
Stupid as it was, but it had the right person at the center of it. Because the person that got a fucking invisible child over 10 years ago is the perfect person to sit there and make a video about them being babies together, then them growing up and all this shit. You need the right person. But WWE has always been second to none in their production value from Attitude promos till now.
There's times in the past on this podcast, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or whatever, I've shit on R-Truth. I've slowly become to like him now. I love him. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer now.
Oh, 100%.
Like, if he retires tomorrow, he should be this year in.
Yeah.
They have given him nothing he's a good wrestler. Ron Killings, he's a good wrestler as well. But what they give him, he just shines it, and we fucking eat it up and love it. It's unbelievable what this man can do with, here, go make this bottle of Yingling your tag team partner this week. To you, to me, to any indie star or somebody like that, that's a struggle. He laughs it off, takes his paycheck, and says, this is an easy week for me.
Yeah. Go out there and put up a ladder in the middle of the Royal Rumble and pretend like you're getting the briefcase. Deal. Climbs the ladder. Everybody loves the shit.
And you're out in 13 seconds then.
Out in 13 seconds, you collected your paycheck, and you're fine. The man's over 50, too, and he looks like he's 25.
Right.
And I think on top of that, I'm pretty sure this all started when he said he was in Green Bay and he was in like Milwaukee or some Kansas City or some shit like that. And then it's like, all right, well, let's see what R-Truth, go do this out there, see what they do. And now it's just built up to this point where it's like, we have just adore this man with a passion. We love that return more than CM Punk and Randy Orton at Survivor Series.
Yeah. And he was eating Doritos.
And he was eating the fucking Doritos, chips in the back of the stage area.
That's it. That's all he needs to do.
Give him both chips. He'll make it happen.
JD against Miz. Again, R-Truth with this team, the Judgment Day, that helps Miz win.
I'm calling it now. This reminded me. It's not DIY. It's Awesome Truth that takes the tag titles off of them. 100% Mania. This is going to be the match, and this is going to be the match everybody eats up and just loves. And it's going to make WrestleMania for everyone.
You're right. You're right. Without a doubt.
Because we're going to love this. We're going to celebrate R-Truth because R-Truth gets flowers at that point. And it's something that he should have gotten a long time ago.
Yeah. Get ready. I've loved Jinder for a long time. I really have.
Don't you hinder Jinder.
I will continue to say this. I think, yes, his run to his championship, whatever, was 0-95 and then wins a title and that pissed people off. Yeah. That got you over. The whole anti-American thing, Iron Sheik. He's an old school heel. He is doing exactly what? Yeah, he never gets a win. He'll steal something. Man, at Rumble, if he beats Seth, it's at Rumble, right?
I think it's Rumble or it's next week, one of the two.
Okay.
I'd have to double check on that. I don't think I'd have to double check that. I'll look into that.
Now, it's not going to happen. I understand that. Seth and CM are too big of a match for the title at Mania not to do. Apparently a snowplow's going by, so it must be doing something nasty outside. But, oh yeah, that's definitely a snowplow.
That is definitely a plow. That is not. I heard that.
Jinder wins this. This is awesome. Let him have it for a little bit, and he's the perfect person stirring the pot for Gunther to take it off of then. Because then you won't hurt Seth. Seth isn't going to be hurt by losing to Jinder, however he cheats, steals, whatever. This would be amazing. It's not going to happen. But and Jinder doesn't need a title. Everybody fucking hates him enough.
Yeah, he just needs to walk out there.
Jinder.
You know who doesn't love Jinder?
Everybody in the world.
No, Tony Khan.
Twitter X was good this week.
X was really good this week. Tony Khan shitting on Jinder made Jinder even more of a megastar than what star he was beforehand. Now people want Jinder. You said people hate Jinder. I think people want Jinder to win just to spite Tony Khan now because he went on a rant about Jinder Mahal out of fucking nowhere. Jinder did not hinder you, Tony. I don't know what is happening, why you hate Jinder so much. And, like, I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, he has no chance. It's old school hero. I like that they're pushing him. They gave him the Rock spotlight. They're giving him the sunshine now. Just kind of, okay, you're the former world champion. We put you out there to drop to the Rock. Here's a title shot to get it. Well, now at this point, everybody wants chaos and let's watch the world burn. So give Jinder the title. Because now you have a history with Jinder. He should not have beat Randy Orton way back when, and he did anyways. We know it was a whole publicity thing for India getting in there and all that stuff. But he beat Randy Orton. Well, let's just fucking shake this up. Seth's got nothing to do at Rumble right now. Maybe he wins next week. And then we just say fuck it and give it back to Seth. Then he gives Punk a talking point, because maybe Punk can beat Jinder in like 6 seconds, and then that's a whole thing going forward. Let's burn the world down right now and just fuck it. All of this just to spite Tony Khan, because he decided Tuesday night, I'm going to drink a lot, and I fucking hate Jinder, so I'm going to go after Jinder Mahal.
Right.
Because that's the only thing I can think of, is you just consumed way too much alcohol and said, you know what? I'm going to shoot on Jinder. Like, what are you doing?
What to do on a Tuesday?
Apparently not. Like, I'm at trivia. This overtakes trivia because we're like, are you fucking serious? We're just wrestling fans there, and we're just like, are you fucking serious? This is happening right now? And we're laughing.
You guys didn't win this week?
We did win this week. We were doing this. We were dealing with Jinder, but we won anyways. But, like, holy fucking shit. Like, why? I get this should have been in Hot Topics, but why?
Does he want him?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's jealous. 2/3 of 3MBs in WWE right now. Did you hear that? Did you?
Yeah.
Somebody fancy booked that one out, to which Heath ends up being the special guest referee at Mania between Jinder and Drew, and then they have a group hug afterwards after Drew wins the title. It was a beautiful. I'd be fine with it.
Trips, you need to make some of this happen. You want to keep wrestling fans happy once in a while? Let us gush about that.
3MB's, it all hurts. We want this. Just give the people what they want.
You know what they did give us? Otis and Ivar.
Hey, you know what? Get the big boys playing.
I didn't hate this, and I'm not an Otis fan.
They are the meat can slap with these two.
Yeah, they can.
Terrible pun, but give me triple threat Mania, throw Bronson Reed in there.
Oh my God!
Let
they
these
better
three
reinforce the ring.
Reinforce the ring. Let these three cook, because as much as I know you don't like Otis, he can wrestle. He can put on stellar matches, especially against these bigger guys. Yeah, I hear it. And especially against these bigger guys. It doesn't have to be a long affair. Just have three bulls run at each other and hope for the best.
Because Bronson is going to have a match with Jay, and then that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a Raw match.
Pretty much.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, exactly.
Raw was good.
Raw was very good.
I would have flipped Punk and Drew to the end. And I know you don't have Cody and Shin start the show, but let them go on at 9. Because it did nothing.
I think they could have did Cody Shin, the main event, 10:30 to 10:50. Book it, put Punk and Drew out there, end the show. Been done with it.
Well, you had to cut some of Punk and Drew. It was like 25 minutes.
That's true. So, they could figure out the timing of it, but
right.
I think to your point, they knew they wanted Punk and Drew to go long. Throw them at the front of the show. You give Punk the time he wants to have them back and forth. You make it up down the line somewhere.
Yeah, and they did. It didn't hinder the show at all. Because I couldn't tell you where they took time from anything. Like, nothing looked rushed.
Yeah, nothing looked rushed. I mean, And even if they shaved it off Ivar and Otis, it's two big men, so nobody's going to really notice that the two Bulls got 7 minutes instead of 25, like 15 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And any more on WWE?
No. I'm just ready. I'm ready for next week. I want to see what happens to SmackDown. I want to see more on Raw of what happens, because I'm intrigued. I'm in deep here with all these intricate strings being pulled. There's a lot of fun left. A lot of fun going down right now.
The next 2 weeks, Raw and SmackDown tonight for you guys, or last night, should be good. Raw, if it continues, and then it rolls back to SmackDown and then to Royal Rumble, everybody knows, listen, WrestleMania is the spectacle of spectacles. Royal Rumble is where it starts. It's always been my favorite pay-per-view because there's two matches that are completely unpredictable. We're saying right now, and now, not our predictions, but as we move forward, it's like Punk and Becky, we would think, right?
I think those are the betting odd favorites right now, but things can change.
There is 10 days, and WWE has played cards. Again, this is why it starts. From now until the end of April, this is hot season. And it simmers down rather quickly, picks up a little bit for SummerSlam, simmers down until January again, because War Games is good. But like I said, we know what's going on in June for War Games.
Well, War Games is okay. I'll light that fire. I said this back in Survivor Series time frame. It's so formulaic at this point. That's not how you pronounce that, but just the way they do it is just
everybody grab a goddamn weapon.
Grab a weapon before you go in. No, just have 5 guys fight each other in the fucking cage.
Oh my God, put a top back on it too.
Yeah, get blood. By the way, blood making a comeback now. We're getting color in WWE now. So
you're going to do whatever you want to on Prime.
Yeah, well, that's true. Bleeding like a stuffed pig, as JR used to said. So,
all right, take a break. We'll come back with AEW for the week.
What's up, guys? My name is Keikoa, the Hawaiian Warrior, and you are listening to Hang on a second. I got to stop this. I'm looking at my cue card that Mark handed me. It says I have to do this 80s promo style. So if you're tuning in, this is the Can Crusher podcast, the only podcast that you should be listening to for all your professional and independent wrestling content. So make sure you tune in every single time that they post a new episode. Hit that subscribe button and listen to the Can Crusher podcast, brother.
Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. It's way too fun out here for any other introductory wrestling-related thing going on right now. But we're not habitually late to work like Hangman, so we can just move forward. Yeah, so we can move forward with this.
I'm going to throw this out there.
All right.
Did you watch Rampage?
Did not watch Rampage. I will fully admit that.
Good. You did not waste an hour of your life.
What happened on Rampage?
Nothing. People are going to be like, but you and Commander were a great Pure Rules match. You know how I feel about all that. Team Jarrett's breaking up. Sheeta and Anna had a match. The Hardys and Briscoe beat Kip, Butcher, and Blade. Yeah.
Wow.
Stellar. Oh, by the way, the Hardys and the Party also had to-dos as well. But
well, I'm hearing, I've seen that the Hardys are relegated to the realm of Rampage and will never be on Dynamite again, apparently. So,
yeah. Writings on the wall, maybe?
I think possibly.
You watch Collision?
I did watch Collision, yes.
So Flair starts the show, and I'm like, what are they going to... Because they had Flair come out by himself. And I'm like...
They did, yeah.
What are we doing?
But they had Darby and Sting come out afterwards. So
it was a long time after. I'm like,
well, you're in the Queen City. You got to let Flair strut at that point.
I'm buying Revolution, but I am not buying Revolution to see Sting's last match.
No.
Nor do, and we'll talk about it as it ends Dynamite. I don't care at this point. Last week I'm like, oh, every place he goes. 2 more days of TV like this has disgusted me. Like, yeah, all right, Sting and Darby gets the win over the Workhorsemen. Darby gets his ass beat. Sting tags in and gets the win. A little bit more happen on Dynamite when we get there. I don't need to see Sting kissing babies, shaking hands, slapping asses. I think this match went short, and they had nothing to put on TV, so they let them fucking peruse the crowd. I know it was only 45 seconds to a minute, but of live television, 45 seconds to a minute of watching them kiss babies, shake hands, and slap asses, and then Sting coming over say, hey, come talk to this guy that looks like you, Ric Flair, wasn't anything that people needed to see on national fucking TV.
No. No, but I'll spin this. I will spin this right now. With the end of Dynamite, I'm going to pull
Just
this
jump to it.
I'm going to jump to this because the Young Bucks come out. It's kind of being reported that this was Sting's last match. This is what he wanted as his last match. Great. The Young Bucks can now use this as, we're wasting all this time on you, kissing babies, doing this, kissing your ass basically on the way out, and we're getting no respect, because that's how they left. They felt like disrespected, they had tantrums, the whole 9 yards. They can spin this and say, we're wasting valuable time on you just to watch you walk out the door. And now we want to bury you into the ground because of it.
Where the hell is Dynamite? I wrote
TBS.
You know, I know that app. I wrote, out come the Young Bucks, and boy, do they look douchey.
Oh, straight
with
up
a
douchey.
capital yes after it. Because this is the best Young Bucks, are when they're douchebags.
I completely agree. The only version of the Young Bucks I will respond to, straight up douches, pencil mustaches now in these suits that they came out with.
Black and white suits.
Black and white suits. That's the Young Bucks to me. That is what they should be. Said this, they are heels through and through. Let them be douchey dickbags coming out. They're going to rain on this whole parade. And it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we have everybody kissing up, being like, oh, my God, Sting, kissing ass. And now, I'm not Bailey, and now it's going to be the Young Bucks coming out and saying, oh, fuck you, I don't fucking care about you. I don't care about your last match. I'll kick you in the nuts.
The build-up is going to be fun from the Young Bucks.
Oh, 100%.
The match, I'm not pandering for.
I'm intrigued by the match not because of, terrible to say, not because of Sting or Ric Flair. I think there's a lot to be said between the Bucks and Darby and what they could do with it. Because Darby will fucking kill himself, as we saw again these past 2 nights. Darby will kill himself for nothing. The Young Bucks will sure as hell be happy to do it for him if they want him to, as douchebags. So that is going to be the Demolition Derby portion of it. Sting entering this match is going to be, okay, I'm just here to fucking get a pinfall or something. You know what I mean?
Sting's got to do something big. He just went off a fucking cement barricade through one table. Not 2. For a TV match. What possibly is he going to do in his last match?
What a perfect opponent to have to do something stupid.
Oh, I agree.
Because this is going to be This is how they play it. It's going to be a Texas Tornado, no rules match.
Without a doubt.
And somebody's fucking Young Bucks are going to come out with the fucking thumbtack shoe probably. That's going to be a spot.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Maybe they hit it on Sting or something like that. It's going to be brutal. I think Sting goes off the stage at this point. They build a stage, they go for big. Or he's going off a ladder out of the ring because he's done that before. There's a lot of possibilities here.
Since it's the Young Bucks, they're wearing black and white right now. This instantly came in my head, by the way. Wednesday night.
I didn't pick up. I'll hear your point because I think I'm thinking what you're thinking now.
They're wearing the black and white. They come out in black and white, yada, yada, yada. Do we get a call back to fucking Surfer Sting? If we get a call back to Surfer Sting, during the match, I'm painting my face. Not that we have anything in here. I had my face painted at one point. I had a Sting face paint, a Hawaiian shirt, a truck and tractor pull hat on with the Rock and Roll Express pins on it, and the foam belt, NWA belt, and when we went to Great American Bash on the Fullington bus. That picture's floating around somewhere. I will never, maybe next week I'll show it. But that's this thing
it's
that
I love. Now. Yeah.
That's this thing that I love. Is this the callback because they're California boys, Sting, Venice Beach, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Are we pulling too much? I don't know. I think why not? He had Flair in Greensboro as Surfer Sting.
I think it could happen. There's definitely going to be some sort of callbacks that night because the whole night is going to be Sting.
Bro.
So there's going to be people. I mean, Brian Cage painted his face like Sting like 12 months ago, and he's still fucking wearing a Sting makeup.
Right.
So I think it's going to happen. I don't know if he goes Surfer Sting.
From the Wonder Years there then too. Not the main character one.
Yeah.
Other with douchebag.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
That's mean. I should have looked this up before I said it. He's still alive? I think he had some troubles. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, you know who we're gonna get there? Superfan Vlad.
Fuck you.
In a tank top, a Sting tank top.
So I'm intrigued what we're doing with Sting. Because I also didn't know this. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? No, I did. I don't. Dude, I've not cared about Sting since he came to AEW.
They've literally announced it every week. He's 23-0, 18-0.
See what I'm telling you?
I'm just saying. I get it, but
he's going out undefeated.
Oh, 100%. He's not losing to the Young Bucks. If he loses to the Young Bucks, maybe I'll paint my face for a week. I don't know.
Another beer tour with our faces painted.
Yeah, right.
That needs to happen, by the way. Just a beer tour where we don't have anything to go to.
I like it.
That didn't even need to go on the show, but that just came into my head.
It's right in there.
Trent and Eddie. Listen, I had no chance and no thought in hell that Trent was going to win this. It was a good match. It really was. I can't look at Trent besides anything as best friends. But when he's solo in a match like this with Eddie, and I've seen him with other people too, don't tell me who, but other people too, the fucker can go. Yeah. I would love him to break away from this. And we thought he was going to maybe for a little bit. This was a good match for Trent.
It was a very good match for Trent. I would agree with you. They need to let him go. I mean, Chuck's injured.
He's still hurt?
He's still hurt. He's still injured. Let Trent make a run at a singles title. Let build it up to the international title. Maybe he beats Orange for the international title. You know, I'm not saying break up best friends, but maybe they do it out of camaraderie or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just Trent can go. Trent can carry a mid-card title with a with the best of them. I'm not saying a long run.
Christian. I mean, the whole Christian Copeland thing, the title is going to be relinquished to somebody else quickly after whomever has it. Let's put it out there that way.
Well, with that whole thing, I think he's got to lose it to Killswitch at some point. I think the next time they face each other is not for the title. He's already said that it wasn't.
Right.
Let's just get back to him. And it's got to be Killswitch is just taking that title off of him. Put him against Killswitch. Trenton versus Killswitch. Let it go. You know what I mean? They got to let him cook more often than they actually are.
Tony with Statlander and Willow in the back. Holy fuck, she's got a lizard that she's toting around now.
I think that's her lizard she brought from home.
Yeah.
That's
Boots. It's Boots.
Boots.
Hook wants Samoa Joe. This is still on Collision, by the way, so we'll bounce back to Rampage. I'm going to be a douche. Tag team title match for the ROH championships. Defender title.
Oh, the proving ground.
Yeah, whatever. When the fuck is Commander and Brian Keith been a tag team that they're even at the proving ground stage? I understand it was to get them on, to get their shtick afterwards. Everybody loves Brian Keith.
Yeah.
I loved Brian. And notice I loved Brian Keith. Give this motherfucker a win. He's talented as all Christ. You have to let him get a win every once in a while. Iron Mike Sharp even got a win every once in a while. Barry fucking Horowitz got a win every once in a while. This guy is nothing more than me in the ring right now.
He got rocked 2 nights in a row. But what I'm saying is, I agree with you 100%. Brian Keith needs to be in the
bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter. Just put him in singles competition. Do not pull him in the tag team. Do not do any of that. Fuck, give him 10, 15 minutes with fucking Roderick beforehand. Or, just pick Blackpool. Give me Mox and Brian Keith at this point. Just give me something of substance.
Yeah.
I don't get what they're doing to Brian Keith. I get he doesn't have a contract, so they're kind of like, you gotta sign with us, bud. We'll give you the ROH deal, but you gotta sign with us.
Right.
They're playing that game right now. So but at the same time, just let the man fucking cook. Let the man fucking fight. Not a 10-minute squash match that we know is going to be a squash match that they're not going to win. Which now there's a 10-minute time limit on proving ground matches.
To win, they're going to get a proving ground match.
But did I miss that? Maybe I've missed this. That there's 10 minutes on a proving ground match.
Where is the infantry? Doesn't that make more sense? Why don't they get a proving ground match? They're on ROH kicking ass and taking names.
They are. They just had a 2 out of 3 falls match on Thursday. Fucking put them in the proving ground match. But why are we putting people together and doing this?
Right. Renee with the Gold Club. Okay, whatever. Them. The Bang Bang Gang. In comes the Acclaim. Da-da-da-da-da. They want a partnership. Was it announced? It wasn't announced here.
No, and we'll pair with the Dynamite segment, because on Dynamite, they didn't announce it there, but they have a name now.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, the Bang Bang Sister Gang. It's fantastic. I like how Austin's the one kind of like, I mean, it makes sense. And then on Dynamite, he's like playing with his finger guns and all that, and they have to pull him away. Austin's buying into this.
Oh, yeah. I agree. And I love it.
I do too.
Because, and listen, again, we've said this for a while. The Acclaim's nothing for these. The titles are amazing. I love one.
Yeah.
I would buy it. I would buy a title that looks like that. They're not doing anything for the titles.
No.
I think the Bang Bang Gang could do more for the titles right now.
Yeah. I think this is setting up for the Revolution match between the two. But it's going to be a fun couple of weeks while we get the Bang Bang Scissor Gang trying to go after the United Kingdom.
Right.
And we can fucking say on this podcast for 3 weeks, Bang Bang Scissor Gang for it. But I want it to happen, but it's going to be slow progression.
It's going to be a slow progression. Copeland talks about Christian, yada, yada, yada. The Cope Open. I thought this was going to be a squash. I wrote in my notes, and Cope wins, done. And then I walked away because I didn't need to see Griff Garrison get speared. Griff Garrison didn't get speared. Nothing against Griff Garrison. He's been irrelevant recently. I know he's with Maria and Cole, doing some stuff on ROH, but not even a lot there. Griff is good.
Griff is good. I mean, I love the callback to Brody and asking who the fuck is Griff Garrison during the promo. Griff is good. Griff has to reestablish himself, and he's doing that with Maria and Cole Carter. But this was a good step up challenge. I love how Copeland, though, before it happened, level set the playing field and said, "You are punching way above your pay grade right now." I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, "You're punching way above your pay grade."
Yeah.
And he level set it. He let Griff get his slap in and push the match. It was a lot better than it needs to be. I love what Adam's doing here. Put the younger guy over. Give him his time to shine. Griff Garrison, who's been just wallowing in bastardized and just out there in the universe, getting some time to shine. Who's the next person to get some time to shine?
Imagine Carter.
I would think Cole Carter, but maybe they just wrapped up the Cole Carter storyline when he got speared. You know what I mean? So then it's like, okay. But who knows? Because they mentioned Maria had history with Copeland. They've crossed paths before. So there's different avenues to play here, if you will, with it.
I like the Cope Open.
I do too. I like the Cope Open too. I like the Copacabana too, but we'll get there.
Copacabana. Sky and Kira. It was a match. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing against them. Who did
Kira Hogan piss off?
I know. She was with a baddie and she was awesome. And I understand Jade left, but Kira's good. Like I've always said this.
She challenged Athena last year for the ROH Women's title. She's a pretty good wrestler. Get her on TV more. Get her better opportunities than being the stepping stone for the woman that puts over people. I get you need those in the company. Kira Hogan, though, can go. Should not be that.
Was this a different Deeb package that we saw from last week?
I thought it was.
I thought it was, too. I love this one. I like last week's, but I love this one.
This one's got better than what last week's was. I would agree.
You're going to get Ethan? I'll be here. Are you taking the Jeep?
It's already started.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this package more than last week's as well. A little more depth behind it, a little more nuance and context with it.
Sorry. Life stuff. Ethan stranded at his friend's house, and the friend's not allowed to drive either, so Mama's going to
go get him.
Yeah. And Max is pissed that he's not going in his beep beep Jeep. And Miggy's now awake too. Main event. FTR in the House of Black. Yes, I want more of this. I love that the family was shitting on in the front row.
Yeah.
Crap with a match. This is, as of right now, and I'm telling you, I understand it'll definitely change. This may be the TV match of the year. As of right now.
It very well may be. We got a long year ahead of us.
Right.
I love this match, beginning to end. I also love the component here. We got Garcia involved now.
Yeah.
There's this sprinkling in. He probably not joining FTR, but that's a hell of a faction there. Remember a couple of years ago I mentioned something about a submission faction where you try to pull all these guys together? Garcia and FTR are already there. That's a nice little technician wrestling 101 kind of faction.
I'm a homer. I love this girl. You know my favorite part of this? Was the clockwork orange 10 bells at the end. She appears just, dang, I'm like, why are they ringing the bell? Dang, I'm like, what? No, they're doing an Undertaker thing. Dang. And then there she is. Just that fucking smug. By the way, I'm starting to hate her, too. It's wrestling.
Yeah. Perfect.
That fucking smug smile. Just. Is she the leader of the House of Black?
I think she's starting to become the leader of the House of Black. Because it's not Malachi.
No.
He's not directing people.
It's her, Brody. Nothing against Buddy. Buddy's always been lackey.
It's definitely her. Brody is the muscle. Brody is the underboss. If you think about this in terms of Mafia or the Capiosa or whatever he is, but he's the second in line. I think it's definitely her. I think she has surpassed the master in what he's doing because Malachi's not leading. Is just out in tag teams now.
Yeah,
that's not what a master does.
No, I loved everything about this.
I did too. I love it too. The hat now, adorned with the TBS title on it. Yeah, that was wild. I thought that was very interesting.
Over to Dynamite to cover up some more stuff at Daly's Place. By the way, we need more at Daly's Place. I love the crowd there. It's their home. Yeah. I know it's a throwback to when wrestling was rough during the pandemic and everything, but it was so engulfed there. Mm-hmm. Even when it was the wrestler marks in the crowd, yada, yada, yada. But then when they opened up to the fans, I really love this arena because it's not your normal arena, first and foremost.
No.
It's stupidly shaped.
It's basically a parking lot at this point.
Right.
I mean, it's a fucking parking lot with Daly's Place on the side of it. Because who else has a gigantic cement fucking balcony just in the middle of fucking nowhere?
So we start off with Hangman and Claudio, which fucking ripped the house down. It really did. The downfall is, I wasn't invested in this whole match until I watched it again. Why? Because the first time, I'm like, there's no fucking way there's going to be a winner in this match. Swerve's coming out. And then it ended, and I'm like, what did I just miss? Because I was already like, Swerve's coming out, this match isn't ending. No possible way, because Claudio is so big. He's taking a loss to Hangman. No way in hell Hangman should be getting losses right now.
Yeah.
And it happened, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I watched this twice before I watched the rest of Dynamite because I thought I was kind of willy-nilly just waiting to see what Swerve did when he came out. And we didn't get Swerve in the match.
No. Yeah, I mean, see, I didn't go into it with Swerve coming out in this match because AEW has my mind trained of, we're not going to end this in no contest or DQ. So, all right, they're going to actually finish this match. And I was sitting there like, but to me, it was more of, Hangman's not going to lose this, so how does Claudio lose this? And then Claudio kept kicking out, or Claudio did the spin, and then he did the sharpshooter like he usually does. And then he kept getting up from different things, and I'm like, when the fuck is this going to end? Hangman had put him out with 2 fucking buck shots. And on top of that, I think the last time Hangman had to use 2 buckshots to beat a person might have been when he beat Kenny Omega for the title. It's probably been a recent one, but that's the one I remember. So to me, it puts Claudio over as, oh my God, you're
a tough son of a bitch.
You're a tough son of a bitch as like a Kenny Omega or something like that. It was a fucking match. It was tear down the house, kick off Dynamite, get us off on the right foot type of match.
Yeah. We get the Brody tribute. Love it. Okay. Yeah. We trickle over into the 8-man men's tag match. people just don't mesh in this match. I understand. Yes, you wanted 10 in there. Yeah, da-da-da-da. And listen, Lance Archer was on the other team. I just can't.
And it didn't even make, like, Lance Archer stuck out like a sore thumb on that team. And I'm glad they made it. They did something with that afterwards. And now there's going to be a 6-man tag for those tag titles now for those. But that was, there was times that was rough.
I understand why it was done. We're not bashing that.
Right.
It wasn't a good match.
It just didn't have the chance. But again, once again, we're putting the Gates of Agony and the Brian Cage and Lance Archer to an extent to get fucked. Just find 4 other heels.
Right, because whatever Team 10 was on was
going to win.
By Preston Vance right now.
Right.
Whatever team he was on was winning after that fucking tribute.
Yeah.
A la the next one, too.
Right.
So we'll go there real quick.
Let's go there.
I did like the women's better, though, because it all made sense. Like, everybody was joined to a team that they would be on.
Yeah. These women played well. Like, you're right. It flowed right. The Outcasts with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, that splits it up. So the Outcasts, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, those are 2 teams come together. Okay, perfect. Chris and Chris and Willow, they're the same. Champions. Yeah, they could be women's tag team champions. You pull in Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa just came back, so that makes sense. She'll feud with them. She's feuding with Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Anna Jay, who is in here because of the Brody tribute, still made sense, still flowed with the team.
She's breaking away from the former JAS.
So now maybe she's going to go back into that more face-type role. Not saying it will happen, but the opportunity's there. So to your point, the tag teams flowed a little bit better. We're a little more cohesive. I was not surprised that Anna Jay won the match. I guess Sky Blue was the person that took it because I thought Ruby was taking this, to be honest, taking the loss here.
He was taking the loss.
But
you did. Back to the guys, and not to be a dick. Preston Vance is a floater right now.
Yeah.
Okay? Floating. Good times, sometimes bad, yada, yada, yada. You put him with the 3 biggest faces. That's a little bit rough. Why wasn't the rest, or whatever members of Dark Order is left, not in this match? Can't Vance shake a hand for the night because of the tribute to have them? He doesn't have to wear the mask, but nobody did the Brody sign, the Dark Order sign.
No.
That kind of, I'm like, man, you just did this awesome tribute. You just had these 2 matches. And I know Anna does it a lot. So I thought, oh, okay, she is wearing the Brody shirt. She's definitely getting, because Vance got the big clothesline for the finish. I thought, all right, Anna's getting the claw. That's the way the commercial break, as she's holding up the claw, pointing to heaven for Brody. I was disappointed in it, in both of these matches, because of stuff like that. Like, it clearly should have been. Johnny Silver's in the back. Which one? Alex Reynolds is still around.
Even Luno's still poking around, too.
There's your 4 to take on the other ones. However they win, by hook or crook.
They win.
They win.
Well, and to that point, you're right. And I think Dustin did the quick, that hand thing that Brody does, but that was it. Yeah. It wasn't much of a tribute to Brody. More or less, it was, okay, I have an armband, it's on my hand. I'll slide it up my arm, and then I'll do the discus lariat. And with the same with Anna Jay, it was a nice thing to try to do, but I think the execution was just a little bit off of it.
Yep.
So
back to the Bang Bang Gang, talking to about the Undisputed Era, and then you claim, and then we get the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Scissor Gang. Can't wait for that T-shirt for 2 weeks.
I know. 1999. Samoa Joe, new title. I understand you have to bring back the original title now that the Burberry man is gone. Nothing's changing. No more hoe-ass comments on social media. Swerve comes out with the Moguls. It's not personal. Hangman comes out. And I thought that was it. That should have been it. It wasn't it.
I like Cook coming out. I like Cook calling them out on Collision, and I like Cook coming out here. Is he going to get squashed next week? Probably.
I don't think they squashed the boy. I think it's a longer match than we think.
It'll probably be a commercial break. You're right. Get a commercial break. He'll find a way. He'll make a mistake, get caught in a coquina clutch, and pass out.
There's no tapping.
There's no tapping. He will never tap. He passes out. You know what? No, scratch that. Muscle buster. 3 count. He's already taken a pin loss. You're building him up to be a submission technician. He doesn't take a submission. He doesn't pass out. He doesn't tap out. He takes a pin.
Okay. Renee with Team Tony. Wendy Richter's coming back to wrestling, apparently, huh?
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, they called her out during the press conference, and now Wendy Richter is for sure coming back.
And she's going to meet Donna, not Deanna.
Yeah, and Mariah May quit stealing Tony's lines. What are you thinking?
She said, no, as a play connoisseur and the star of the show, Tony called line. As the understudy, Mariah was helping her out.
I don't get. She stole the line. She stole the thunder. Stole the line. You take her aside. You tell her the line. Let Tony. She stole the spotlight. Send her back to Japan.
Out in whatever.
Tits in, out, all around.
Sammy and Starks. Did you like it?
No, I was expecting more.
I was expecting the end.
Yeah, the brawl.
Yeah.
I
was expecting that earlier in it.
Right, to kind of break it up. Yeah. Didn't expect to go as long, get a definitive winner or anything like that. But playing Judas now to drown out booze?
Loud?
Loud booze? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are Sammy and Jericho. They're not that other name that they used to be.
No, they're not. They better not ever be that name again.
There's no fucking possible way, with everything still transpiring, they win. They win.
No, I think that's why this is buried on Battle of the Belts, the street fight.
Yeah.
Get done, get it over with.
Yeah, Battle of the Belts, where everything changes, nothing ever.
Nothing ever changes. Jericho is going to be gone for a while.
Isn't his cruise coming?
It's probably coming in the next couple months, but I think they need to they're going to say, let's cut this off.
Yeah.
You be done.
But
take time.
And then, good. Because then Sammy can do something.
Sammy can do something else.
Does Sammy have some shade on him because of this?
No, because I think Sammy's just in an unfortunate situation. Sammy stepped up when we thought when Kenny went out, right? That's what Sammy was doing. Sammy didn't align himself with Chris because of what's happening with this. It was clear from the start that this was, okay, we need you back to take over where Kenny walked away. I don't think Sammy gets the stink on this.
Good.
Because I think the crowds are cheering Sammy. It's just when Jericho shows up, that's when the heat comes.
Yeah. Agreed. Same thing about Brian Keith again, and he fought Roddy.
Oh, you did fight Roddy. Yeah.
Because you knew, yeah.
I knew it was coming up, but yeah.
But it was just so quick, so they could do 10 minutes about what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And Wardlow can look disinterested in being fucking out there.
That was the worst fucking sweatshirt I've ever seen that poor guy wear in his life.
He was giving Eddie a run for the money of King of the Bums. at this point. Like, what? Put on a jacket.
You went from 50-piece suits to be, I know he was MJF's guy and he had MJF money and everything. Just let him come out in his gear then. Like, he looks like I do right now. He
is the most disheveled motherfucker walking God's green earth in that ring.
His hair.
He's gonna look like, by the end of this, I hope he looks like fucking Mankind when he won the title for the first time. Just ripped shirt down the back, brown tights.
We're getting Deanna against Red Velvet in our first match tonight.
Wonder who's going to win that.
We're going to stir it up and find out.
Yeah, we'll let that bake.
Then we get Sting and Darby against Hobbs and Takeshita. This is not a main event, I wrote. Right off the bat, it's not a main event match.
What it was after is why it was the main event match.
Right. And we discussed
it. We already talked about it.
I love AEW. There's just sometimes, and I don't mean to mean like this, I'm like, man, just get your shit together. It wasn't a shit together week for me.
It was, we got a pay tribute, but now we got to do also the Young Bucks coming out, so we can't have the track from the show, so they're kind of all over the place. Plus, when you're hindering gender, you don't have time on your calendar to put together a show. So,
yeah, the night before you're fucking poking gender, so you're like, shit, what am I going to do tomorrow?
Yeah, I figure out your own damn. It felt like a lot of this was thrown together last minute.
It really does.
So, it was unenthusiastic. The return, I think it started strong, had a highlight in the middle, and just kind of died after that. Yeah. The promos carried some of it.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. I'm looking at the time and I'm putting our pieces together. I'm like, oh, my God.
I've noticed that, too. We were very concise this week with our responses.
Well, it's because it was a week.
There wasn't much to it.
No.
I mean, there wasn't, this happens. There's just weeks that it doesn't click and doesn't hit.
Right, because essentially for AEW, we're 2 months before their pay-per-view.
Right.
I mean, we're ballparking. We're 2 months, so we're not getting a lot of meat and potatoes.
Yeah, with WWE, they're picking up steam, but they're still 2 weeks out from the Rumble, so they're not getting hot and heavy until tonight, or, well, yesterday when you guys are listening to us, and down the road.
So, you're going to get a lot of this for AEW for a while, I think. Little bits and pieces thrown in there. Is Sting and Darby against the Jacksons the main event of that card?
It can't be, right?
It's got to be, right?
I don't know if it's got to be.
This is the only thing that's booked for Revolution. It's really not even booked yet. But it's the only thing that's booked for Revolution. 90,000 fucking tickets were sold from Guam to fucking our favorite place in Iowa.
Council Bluffs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Never remember that. All these tickets were sold just because Sting's last match in Greensboro, where he started, yada, yada, yada.
Fuck, it is.
The pay-per-view ends with them looking over the box.
I think then you have to have something happen at the end of it.
I agree.
It's not just Sting rides off into the sunset.
That doesn't carry you to the next fucking pay-per-view.
There has to be something that lingers. What lingers?
Do they kill Darby? That's what I mean.
Well, let me put this out there. What if the concession is you can have a match with the Young Bucks, but that's not, you have to face Darby? What if we're getting a wool pull over our eyes? Bucks came back. Sting wants a match with the Bucks. Doesn't necessarily have to be his last match ever. Sting gets the Bucks, Collision or Dynamite. next couple weeks.
I thought I read that his last match he didn't want it to be solo. I know.
I thought he read that too. But
card subject change.
Well, card subject to change, but I think in that regard too, I'd put out he doesn't want it to be solo. Maybe, I think to Tony Khan's point, or maybe they're going to plan on Darby just beating the shit out of Sting when it ends. If it's not going to have a big bang at the end of it, I don't think it can end the card.
Two people, and I don't mean a number two, I meant T.O. Two people. We've seen retirement matches. They've never ended a show. But as of right now, this is being booked to be the greatest retirement ever. And I'm nothing against Sting. I was a huge fan of him. I was. And, things happen that I like him still. I respect him. He's crazy for doing what he's doing. Okay, he's retiring. I mean, we talked about Bill Belichick for the last 2 days. He's not retiring. He's just going to go coach fucking Atlanta next week.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's going, but...
Right.
This can't end the card. When you have in play any one of these matches, Joe Hangman or Joe Swerve, or Hangman Swerve, all could be possibly for a title.
Yeah. To me, that's your main event.
Yep.
Sting's retirement, it's cool it's happening on the card, but that's not your main event. It's just happening.
Right. Do it first.
Get done, get it over with.
Right. This way, if the crowd goes a little bit long, you can adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're 2 months away, Mark. Settle down. There's storylines to be made, yada, yada, yada. But, man, oh, man. It's looking like it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Revolution may be their throwaway pay-per-view. I hate to say it like that.
That's not good for your first pay-per-view of the year.
No. No, I didn't know they were going to dub this week Homecoming either, just because it was a Daily Play. So it was
it was a special pay-per-view. Well, it's a special TV show. It wasn't too special.
No. That's all I got on wrestling, dude. You got anything else?
I got nothing else. Nothing more on wrestling. Just remember, don't hinder gender on Twitter or the X.
What's up for the week?
Oh my God, no, nothing too much. Still, hopefully we'll have the move done. Maybe. We'll have the move hopefully done in the next week. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's the thought process.
Like fucking moving in the middle of a goddamn blizzard.
Listen, man, I tried to get this stuff done by the end of December. Actually, earlier than that, but the end of December, when it was 65 and, like, nights out.
Yeah, tank top.
Now, it's 70 mile per hour winds, fucking 4 inches of snow when you cough. Why not? Should I take warnings from the universe? I don't know. But anyways, I digress. What do you got for this week?
Action-packed of basketball.
Very nice.
Very basketball-heavy this week. I actually have, as you guys are listening to it, barring weather, I have a game tonight, I have a game Monday, I have a game Wednesday, and I have a game Thursday. I have something else Tuesday that I will not reveal, and then I have to edit a international podcast.
A world-renowned international podcast.
No, it is world-renowned.
Yeah.
So that'll have to come in the hopper.
That's a lot on your plate for this next week, especially doing the editing for that podcast.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing I have this week, probably.
Try to hype it up a little bit. God, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear this one. Again, the Montreal Expos have something to do with this. She's going to hate me if she listens to this. She's a wonderful talent in Canada, in Montreal. You've seen her on ROH, so I'll leave it at that. I've given everything but her name.
You've given everything. Hey. You know what we didn't do so far? Happy anniversary to Marty Jannetty becoming the Marty Jannetty of tag teams. That was today. 32 years ago? I think it was 30 years ago, something like that.
I saw some of this, and we also forgot to remind them about Ask Can Crushers, so we'll do that here real quick.
Yeah.
I also saw this. Well, I want to stop at Sheets. Do you want anything? Jesus, God Christ, I can't answer you right now on a podcast. Of course I do. If you can hear me, Ethan, I want like 2 hot dogs with chili and mustard on them, but I digress.
Well, I'll cover for you for 30 seconds.
I saw. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know where Mark was going, but hey, just throwing this out there to you guys. If you're in the Buffalo area and you want to be a shoveler for Highmark Stadium, they're giving $20 an hour in complimentary food. And there will be a snow shovel provided. Must be 18 or older to participate. The Bills need people to shovel shit. Anyways, what were you going to say?
I saw that same thing. I ordered 2 chili dogs, so I'm pretty happy right now. Fat guy getting chili dogs.
I'm jealous.
I know, right? I saw that whole thing about Marty Jannetty and Sean, and then like a couple down the road, I saw, hey, this is the day that Marty Jannetty became Marty Jannetty. But don't forget, years later, Marty Jannetty was teaming with Al Snow, and Al Snow became Marty Jannetty on the team. Poor Al Snow.
But, I mean, to Al's benefit, I think he's had quite a more successful career than what Marty Jannetty did.
Right. But when you're the Marty Jannetty on
the Marty Jannetty, that's a problem.
It is a problem. All right, guys. Again, next week is Ask Can Crushers. We've got a couple in the hopper already. I'm super excited about them. But there's a couple ways that you can send them to us. One, you can DM them on Facebook, Instagram, X, or Threads. cancrushers69@gmail.com is an easy way. Or the phone number, if you want your voice to be heard, is
814-299-6687. 3 minutes in length. No 155,000 of them. One question, please.
We love Ask Can Crushers. We really do. So we'll blow through wrestling rather quickly, and then we will give the rest of the show to Ask Can Crushers next week. Make sure you get your questions in by Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, so I can pull them all on Friday, yada, 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 and do that happy horse shit. So that's it.
Yeah, that's it for that happy horse shit. Get those questions in.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Boop, boop.